Just when it feels like Sophie has reached her breaking point, the trailer shifts from darkness to revelation. The cell door opens, not with chaos, not with shouting, but with quiet urgency. And standing there is Benedict. His expression is no longer conflicted. It is determined, because the truth has finally caught up with the lies. The leaked scenes confirmed that Penelope does not hesitate. After verifying the crest on the necklace, she begins digging through old records, letters, and inheritance documents connected to Sophie's late father. What she uncovers is explosive. Sophie's mother was not just a servant. She was legally connected to a noble household. There are financial transfers. There are sealed correspondences. There is even mention of a private trust meant to support a child born outside formal recognition. That child can only be Sophie. The official trailer gives us quick flashes of these discoveries, a document stamped with a faded seal, Penelope reading by candlelight, Colin standing behind her, realizing how dangerous this investigation could become. Because exposing this truth will not only free Sophie, it will humiliate Lady Araminta publicly, and humiliation in the Tun is a weapon sharper than any blade. The most powerful moment in this section is when Benedict learns the full truth. The trailer shows Penelope handing him the documents. His hands tremble as he reads, and you can see the realization hit him like a wave. Sophie was never beneath him. She was never socially impossible. The barrier between them was built on a lie he unknowingly helped uphold by asking her to accept less than she deserved. The guilt on his face is overwhelming, because now he understands that Sophie was not asking for more than he could give. She was asking for what she was always entitled to. But here is where the tension deepens. The truth alone is not enough. It has to be presented publicly. It has to be undeniable. And that means confronting Lady Araminta in front of the very society she tried to manipulate. The trailer builds toward what appears to be a formal gathering, a room filled with members of the Tun, whispering, watching, waiting. Lady Araminta stands confidently, still playing the victim, still claiming she was deceived by a dishonest girl. And then Benedict steps forward, not quietly, not cautiously, but boldly. He announces that new evidence has come to light, evidence that proves Sophie's innocence and reveals her true parentage. The leaked footage suggests that Penelope's whistledown column plays a crucial role here. A special edition circulates just hours before the gathering, hinting that a noble household concealed an illegitimate daughter for years. By the time Benedict presents the documents, society is already buzzing. The room shifts. Eyes move from Sophie to Araminta. Doubt begins to crack the perfect image Araminta built so carefully. And then comes the moment that changes Sophie's life forever. The necklace is returned to her, not as stolen property, but as rightful inheritance. The crest is acknowledged publicly. A family name is spoken aloud. Sophie, who was once dismissed as a maid with no connections, is revealed to be a noblewoman denied her status. The silence in the room is deafening, because society does not know how to react when a woman they underestimated suddenly rises before them with proof of power. But the emotional weight of this revelation is not just about titles, it is about identity. The trailer gives us a quiet but unforgettable shot of Sophie processing the truth. Years of being told she was worthless, years of believing she had no claim to anything. And now, in a single moment, that narrative collapses. She was never nothing. She was hidden. Lady Araminta's reaction is equally telling. The calm mask cracks. For the first time, we see panic in her eyes, because this is not just embarrassment, it is exposure. The leaked footage suggests that questions begin to surface about financial misconduct, about inheritance money that may have been diverted, about manipulation and emotional abuse. The scandal is no longer centered on Sophie, it is centered on Araminta. But even in victory, the trailer reminds us that emotional wounds do not heal instantly. After Sophie is cleared, there is a deeply intimate scene between her and Benedict.
He apologizes again, this time with full understanding of what he took for granted. He admits that he let fear and expectation cloud his judgment. He confesses that he was wrong not just socially, but morally. And for a moment, it feels like reconciliation is within reach. But Sophie does not immediately accept it. That is what makes this storyline so powerful. She tells him that discovering her title does not erase the pain of being asked to hide. It does not erase the feeling of being seen as less. She needs time. Time to understand who she is now. Time to decide whether love built on wounded pride can truly become something stronger. And Benedict does something unexpected. He agrees. He doesn't chase. He doesn't demand. He simply promises to wait, to prove through action that he sees her as his equal, not because of a title, not because society now approves, but because he finally understands her worth. The trailer then shifts focus briefly to the larger Bridgerton family, Violet watching this unfold with quiet pride, Anthony observing Benedict with a knowing expression, perhaps recognizing his younger brother's growth, Kate offering Sophie a gentle look of support, as if welcoming her long before any wedding is announced. These small glances matter because they show that Sophie is no longer standing alone. But just when it feels like justice has been served, the trailer delivers one final unsettling detail. A lingering shot of Lady Araminta packing her belongings in silence. No tears, no dramatic outburst, just calculation in her eyes. The leaks suggest that she will be forced to leave London society, but the way the trailer frames her exit doesn't feel like defeat, it feels like retreat. And that raises a terrifying possibility. If a woman who spent years manipulating everyone is suddenly cornered and stripped of status, will she accept her downfall quietly, or will she look for one last way to destroy the happiness she could never control?
Just when the dust of scandal begins to settle, the trailer shifts from exposure to something far more delicate and far more terrifying: love after betrayal. Because clearing Sophie's name was only the beginning, winning back her heart is something else entirely. The official trailer slows its pace here, and that choice feels intentional. The music softens, the lighting grows warmer, but underneath that softness there is tension, because Benedict knows that proving Sophie's identity does not automatically repair the damage he caused. He saved her reputation, but can he rebuild her trust? One of the most powerful leaked scenes shows Benedict standing outside Bridgerton House late at night, staring up at Sophie's window. He looks different now, humbled, reflective. The arrogance that once made him believe he could offer her a hidden life is gone, and when he finally speaks to her again, there is no mention of society, no mention of scandal, no mention of convenience. He tells her he was wrong. Completely and entirely wrong, not because she is noble, not because she now fits into his world, but because she always deserved to stand beside him in the light. The trailer gives us a quiet but unforgettable exchange. Sophie asks him one simple question: "If I had remained only a maid, would you have still chosen me publicly?" And Benedict does not answer immediately. That pause is everything, because this is the truth he must confront, and when he finally responds, he admits that he does not know what he would have done before, but he knows who he is now, and he would burn every expectation placed upon him before hiding her again. That line changes the energy between them. But Sophie does not surrender easily, and that is what makes this arc so powerful. She tells him that discovering her inheritance does not change the years she spent believing she was nothing. It does not erase the humiliation of being offered secrecy instead of marriage. She needs proof that his love is stronger than his fear, and Benedict accepts that challenge. The trailer then builds toward what appears to be the most emotional scene of the season, a formal gathering, the ton assembled once again, but this time the whispers are different. There is curiosity in the air, anticipation, and then Benedict steps forward publicly, not in private, not in a garden, not in the shadows, but in front of everyone who once doubted Sophie.
He asks for her hand in marriage, not as a solution to scandal, not as damage control, but as a declaration. He says her name clearly. He calls her his equal. He acknowledges that he failed her before and that he intends to spend the rest of his life honoring the woman she is. The leaked footage suggests that the room falls completely silent because this is not just a proposal, it is a rejection of every rigid rule that once stood between them. And Sophie's reaction is the emotional peak of this section. She does not answer immediately. The trailer lingers on her face, the weight of her past, the risk of trusting again, the possibility of happiness she once believed was impossible. Violet watches with tears in her eyes. Anthony stands steady, offering quiet approval. Kate gives Sophie the smallest nod, as if reminding her that strength brought her here.